Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Renos by BB and Babu. This is episode 3, and Babu is going to walk us through the various floor plans of our home, starting with the initial floor plan, what it looked like when we bought it. And you'll also see where we've started some of the demo on the inside.
Yeah, so just as BB had said, the last episode we went through the purchasing of the house. This one specifically, we're going to walk you through what we went through in our own heads of how we wanted to lay things out. But I'm going to show you what it originally looked like, and we'll kind of walk you through that architecture. So with that, let's sort of jump into here. So let's quickly go over and let's get started. Okay, so you should now basically see the house. This is what it looks like basically when we bought it. You can see there's a top floor to it in terms of having, there's an awning. They put an awning up there probably in I want to say it was right after Katrina. They had put an awning up there, but it's got a slate roof, as you can see here. It has basically on the lower bottom of the porch. It's got a single window, a single entry door. When you get up close to the house, you can see there was mods done to the wood paneling. So it clearly didn't look exactly like this in terms of what the window sizing was, because you can see that the top floor doesn't match the first floor, and even the door doesn't really match any of the architecture. So there had been some mods that were done to it. And this actually we'll talk about later, but that was a fence we just recently had put in. So we'll go through some of that. This is the layout. So it's about a 2,400 square foot house. Starting on the top right, you can see basically there's the entry porch. You come in, there was a living room, a dining room, and then a kitchen to the back. The kitchen is an add-on. It used to be what was basically you'd call a porch or a mudroom on the back. This kitchen didn't exist. And then on the other side, there was the bedroom and the another primary bedroom that they had here with a bathroom in the middle. Now, remember, in the 60s, they converted this to a multiplex or basically a dual home, a duplex. So the first floor that you're looking at here was for one person to live. And the stairs are for the outside that basically go to a second floor. And so that second floor has basically two more bedrooms, another bathroom, a kitchen. They basically took a bedroom and turned it into a kitchen, and they had another living room that was up here and with balcony access. Now, what you can't tell from all this is a drawing that was probably done from the 60s when they were doing the update. The original house, as we've opened the walls, this back bedroom and bathroom were actually the kitchen to the original house. That was the kitchen. There was only one bathroom in the house, and it was on the second floor. There was no bathroom on the first floor. As I mentioned, this was sort of a mud room porch in the back. The dining room was truly the dining room. And the two rooms in the front were basically a living quarters or living and a formal living. So formal living room and a secondary, more relaxed living area. The stairs actually were in that living room that wrapped up into the second floor. These outside stairs did not exist. So they added those in the 60s. When you got up to the second floor, as you came up here, because of the height here, this living room, which was a living room, had railings, so it was very wide open. You can actually see on the floor where this was added. This was an entire open space. And we believe when you kind of look at it, there's a doorway that was placed here. So this primary bedroom area had a closet and had access into what is this living quarter. So it looked more of a private living area that also had a view down to the first floor. So there was a railing there. The bathroom, this was a one bathroom for the whole house. That's how it was designed. And then this back room was a bedroom, and then there was another bedroom here. So that's sort of how the original house was set up. Of course, there was a stairs that go pull down stairs from the hallway that actually go up to what is the current attic, and that's where you see here where it says ladder, and you can see the fireplaces, and it's a very high ceiling in that attic. Oddly enough, I mentioned to you before, there was a cistern that actually sat right here on top that basically accumulated the drain water or rainwater, and then it provided the plumbing because of where it sat down to what was this second floor where the bathroom is. And you'll notice that. And that plumbing carried all the way through and then cut off towards what would have been the kitchen on the first floor. And in the old house, in the house, when you look in there and the pipes are, you can actually see the old cast iron pipes that were there for that. So this was first floor, or this was the original layout.
So I just want to point out that in the picture you see where the what the house looks like on the exterior, there was actually a huge palm tree in the front. And so in a later episode, I will share some footage of Babu cutting that down.
Yeah. So yeah, that was quite a bit of work. So you'll see that it was somewhat off center. At first, we were going to keep it, and then with the hurricanes that it hit, it just gradually started leaning over, and it basically started going over to the sidewalk. So at that point, we said, "Hey, it's got to come out. It's losing its appeal." Okay, so let's go to the next slide. If I can actually do that, there we go. Okay, so take the same image, you lay it out into the yard. This is what it sort of looks like. Um, and I'm sorry for the imagery I keep cutting in and out. It just happens to be the virtual background that's not catching me in terms of that. But in the image you're looking at, that's the generic floor plan. You can see there's a main entrance from the street. On the back side, there was some pavers they put in. And this is typically what it looks like. And there was a massive tree here that used to be there, but it had died about a year or two after we bought it.
Mhm.
So we had to have the tree taken down. But we did leave the stump because we're actually going to do some carvings in it. So that's something else that's going on. We have a two-car garage, as you can see here, and there's basically street access out that side. And then off of what is the back of the kitchen, there's street access to as well. So if I go one more. All right, so this is what one of our layouts was going to be if we try to stay true to the original architecture. It was going to take the kitchen and put it in the back corner. We looked at that a couple different ways. It's a little more confined in terms of how the house is laid out because typically how it works, especially in New Orleans, a lot of cooking and everything else going on. It's sort of the heart of the house. You're in the back corner, and that was one aspect of it. Though you get a view of the backyard. We kept a half bath on the first floor. We try to take advantage of the closet space. Kept the rooms in the front similar to how they would have in the original. And then the dining room, we kept it true to being a dining room. And then what we did is we took the new kitchen they added on, and we turned that room back into a mud room. And the part that sticks off, we actually turned it into what would be a screen porch. So that was the concept for this. So basically, a little more confined in terms of how it's spread out, but it's not as open as we would like. So I'll show you some other evolution that we went through. This is one which we are basically driving towards, which is the kitchen actually sits where the dining room is. It's central to the house. It keeps the plumbing all central to the house. The mudroom still stays and the screen porch stays as we talked about. And then the living room. We now put the dining room towards the front, and this allows us a view towards the street in general, but it also gives us a little more open feel to the house. And then now we've created what is another suite, if you will, on the first floor, not just for our parents as they come to visit or visitors and then ourselves as well as we get older gives us an opportunity to have a space here to actually be able to uh, have people sleep on the first floor. And it has a bathroom for two sinks and as well it has a shower and a tub access. So now the next thing we did was we took a look at the whole yard and we wanted to holistically look at, all right, well, if we like that floor plan, what's the yard going to look like? And in New Orleans, you have a lot of trees, you have a lot of leaves. So we were looking at how do we put some brick work in there that actually helps us a little bit and keeps things a little cleaner, especially around the house, and then keeps all the nature on the outskirts of the house. So that way, a little less damage or to the crawl spaces. So you can see here, we put a little more brickwork around here. We put a fountain off to the side. So you're sitting on the porch where there's a swing on the front. You can have the sound of the water. In the back, we put lights and we put another seating area out there where we could sit and eat. Um, you know, crawfish broil or boil, whatever we're doing, at least all that could be there.
Beignets.
Exactly. All the good stuff. But it's outside. So that's the thinking here. We put up some new shrubs and whatnot around the yard, sort of landscaping. Okay. All right. So this is the second floor. So this has had a lot of evolution. So we took the standard layout. This is sort of what you saw from the current. And then we go from there. We started doing a few different options. So this one was take advantage of the current bathroom layout, keep it in place, put the closet space a little bit, so we'll kind of shift it a little for the primary bedroom. And then what we ended up doing was looking at a primary bedroom with a entire primary bathroom that basically both of them had a view over the balcony. It basically turns this house or the second floor into a primary residence, if you will. So this was one approach where we had also two secondary bedrooms. And then we put in a set of stairs, not just to go to the first floor, but also to go up. And we'll show you that here in a second because there's the attic is fairly large, and we were thinking about turning that into a play or some sort of another room, but having access through a stairwell instead of an actual pull down a ladder kind of approach. So this was one of our first ones that we liked. This is another one where we put the primary bedroom on the back of the house. So when you look at that on the back side, you see basically the bedrooms on the bottom, and then the bathroom takes up the whole top side, right? Um, Still the guest bathroom is in the middle, and then you have the two guest bedrooms on the front of the house, overlooking the balcony. So a little bit different approach. Um, the difference here is we like the view off the front of the house more for the primary. So that's sort of why we prefer more it to have it here, and we'd rather have the guest bedrooms towards the back. So
And let us know which layout you like, because we're still playing around with it. I think Babu is going to show you another slide that actually shows what we may end up choosing. But we'd love to hear from you. So please comment and let us know what you think.
yeah, so now if I go one more, let's try that again. There we go. So this is where we sort of settled now. But as BB has said, we're still, hashing this out, even between ourselves. So this is not the end of it. And sort of looking at it, kept the primary where it is towards the front. We created an equal closet space. We basically encroached a little bit on one of the bedrooms where we have a primary bathroom and then there's the guest bathroom next door. Keep the plumbing a little more central, but it actually afforded us another living space upstairs where much larger TV, more relaxed feel. That way, if there's guests downstairs or any sort of visitors, the rest of us can go up and relax and hang out and not worry about it. And you've got very large TV access for it. So that's the one sort of leaning forward at the moment. But it really, you notice we downsized that bathroom a little bit for the primary to sit in that other space.
And I've come to realize that I prefer to not have a television in the bedroom. So this layout will allow Babu to have his big screen television as loud as he wants, and BB can get some rest.
Yeah, completely. Well, and that's what I even have in here the other TVs, but yeah, BB won't let me watch them. So, okay, so that was sort of our preferred for the second floor at the moment. This gives you so I'm trying to get my view back so you guys can see me. This is sort of the third floor look. So the stairwell goes up. We're looking at putting potentially skylights into the area. There are two fireplaces that run through the house, but the back one, um, it's served its time. It's falling apart. It needs to come down anyway, and it actually impedes some of the bedrooms and the living space on the first floor. So we're thinking of actually taking that one out and retaining the one that is actually the primary for the house. So that's sort of what you're seeing here. But these are like 15 foot ceilings in that attic. It's very large. So we've sort of identified where the crawl space could be on the outskirts, and you can put up a false wall so that way you have a room, if you will, when you go up that we can actually air condition it and make it like the rest of the house.
Yeah, and that room, that attic space, that might end up becoming like a game room for our son or even another guest room. We haven't quite decided on that yet.
Right.
Oh, I mean, Babu put a lot of work into this. We collaborated and still trying to figure it out to decide exactly what we want to do. Again, we'd love to get your feedback, what you like, what you think we should do, shouldn't do. Just get your constructive criticism. That would be great. And we're excited to keep you on our journey with us and see what we have in store.